guys go around a D-mark, and all of a sudden you get this big lift up against those cliffs, that velocity lift. That's the airflow coming down off to this side and cruising across and bumping into this, and it gives you a lift off to the starboard tack. So if you're, depending on the velocity pressure, you always get a starboard lift off this shore, and then you take a little flip out the winning point, and you almost aim it forward. Bad part is if someone is working this right side, this is kind of fun, but I'll show you. Down the middle, where the wind's supposed to be traveling, the boat's inside here will get decent angles this direction and this direction on port and starboard until they get close to the edge, and then that's when they'll pick up either a right shift, or sometimes if, I don't know if you noticed, this summer most of the wind has been out of the east-southeast, and when it goes east-southeast, these arrows go away, and it's all lifts. It's all left shifts. The last two series races, it's all left shifts until the sun gets further down on the sky. And when the sun gets further down the sky, this happened like every weekend I'm out there. The winds go back to our south by southwest. And they go back towards the latter part of the day. And there's usually 2 or 3 shifts still left over on the right. So what I would like to emphasize on the downwind spinning incline is make sure you're always on the inside rung. That way you get to control your fleet. And aggressively tack those puffs because you'll sail deeper and lower. And when we go out later today, we'll show you how far to sail down where it feels terrible. Okay? And that's the area that you got to learn to play. That happens to me a lot. My ADHD.
So in the Lake Travis conditions, and I think you draw them pretty accurately there. So you round the mark, you got a boat right in front of you, you control it inside. When do you jive?
So when do I jive?
Yeah.
It's all about velocity.
So you jive for a puff?
I chase puffs.
Okay.
I chase them down hard. You know, because the apparent wind goes so far forward that, you know, just a 5 9 breeze more, and you're gone.
Okay.
So you'll jive to stay in the puff or something?
I will do everything I can to stay in the puff.
Can I ask you, when you said leave the boat, lady that brought you, did you mean if you get a lift on a starboard tack up to the mark, then you want to be sailing a port jive out of it to stay in the headed now?
Right.
Now it'll be a headed jive.
Exactly.
And that's why you said that.
That's the reason.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a lift upwind, it's a header downwind. And so you're trying to sail headed all the time. Well, but it's also, you know, you talk about pressure. If you get up there and you come in on the right shift but there's no pressure, then your first instinct is velocity. Okay? That should be your first thing you think about. You know? And the other thing you've got to realize that, you know, that we know that we lose some boat lengths when we tack, right? We lose 2 to 3, sometimes 4 if it's no air. So in jiving, you can lose that much also, especially if you jive in a lull. So sometimes jiving in a lull is not good either. You just want to maintain momentum. So this boat acts like a big boat. I mean, it really does. Maintain momentum. Don't tack much. You know what? I need a puff, that kind of stuff. It starves on power. It definitely does.
Good job. So that tactic about staying on the inside and controlling the fleet, it seems like a lot of people do the exact opposite. They try to get above and they try to roll it, and then the whole fleet starts running out and then you happen.
Yeah. It's an easy temptation to do it. Because you think you can cross over the top of it. And you know, obviously you can if you have more pressure and they don't. They're like sitting in the wall, that kind of stuff. But most people, first instinct is to head up.
Yeah.
So I feel much better if I can get my bow down on somebody, and then I'll at least I can control.
So if someone's trying to roll you, are you actually recommending letting them roll you so you can stay further down? But then you're gonna lose a lot of wind.
So, yeah, so, okay, so let's
Is
say,
it just mutual assured destruction when someone starts doing that? Is that really what it comes down to?
let's see this. So if this guy is adamant on trying to roll over the top of you, I would be looking for puffs over here. I'd be looking for some reason to go jive. You know, and that's okay. I mean, that one of the Friday night beer can races, I rolled over Larry, and I rolled over air supply, because they grounded and were sailing lower, and I had a bunch of weight on my boat, so I felt powerful, so I could sheet it in like a jib and just go upwind. But at that time, we were only heading over towards Wind Point, and that velocity comes, it was like that east-southeast wind. The velocity was there, so we took off on it, did really, really well, but they couldn't get out of it. That's the problem with that Wind Point area, is you gotta know when to get out of there before it sucks you back in around that hole over there. And so that's why, like, this guy is really adamant to do the high road. I'd look at Wind Point and see if that looks really a good place to hang out. And then he'd say, well, let's do the high road, we'll go to Wind Point, blah, blah, blah. And then you've got to be sure that you're the first one out of there, not him. Okay?
So there you should, that's what they're.
Because if he jives first, he's got the inside run, and now you're sandwiched between that guy and that hole in the cliffs over there. And I've done this to people, man. I push them over in there, dump them off, and get out of it. You know? I just noticed it, too. You go look up and I gained 15 moments on it. Just because he didn't jive to me. Claude's done that. Claude will hug that shore, and I'll be out in the middle, and I'll be like, no, I'm waiting for that hole here. When I hit, be patient, be patient. Sure enough, I see Claude. Like, that's it, we found it. But it's all about velocity. That's why it's real important. It's really hard to see sometimes the wind as it skips and bounces and that kind of stuff. But, you know, like I said, I'm on the water, you know, 3 times a week, and I get my power boat. Right over Marshall Ford and notice the wind. It's still blowing up Wind Point, still blowing at Commanders, dead in the middle, you know?
I know that hole, we hit it all the time, it's so hard.
So you might want to do a couple things. Stand up on the boat. Your perception of what's happening is so much better when you stand up and boat. You know what? And look at Claude. How does Claude drive his boat downwind? Standing up. You ever notice that? You stand up in the back of the boat doing this? He wants to look around and see what the wind is. And also, it reflects the water better, you know? You see the puffs better.
John, can you take us through the jive sequence one more time?
Sure. So, it's really good if the crew would stay on the high side as long as possible. Period. Okay? Which would be the new low side.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's really good that if you're for that crew who is looking backwards, hold on to the shrouds, looking backwards, calling puffs, that kind of stuff. He's the guy that's going to grab that new sheet and pull really fast during the job. Okay? It'd be great if my crew would stay on that new leeward side as long as possible until the nylon comes around the forestay. If that happens, then the boat is rolling, and that way the skipper doesn't have to do much rudder movement. So if you can stop, you know, you can stop the rudder from moving, okay, the boat's faster. So by rolling the boat, heeling it over, it's much quicker. So the skipper's job is to start the turn, okay, but not continue. Start the turn, and then, but don't get any more aggressive. Let the boat roll, and leave the people on the old high side, new leeward side. Let the nylon blow through, and the moment the clue comes back and the chute is turned inside out, that would be the best time for everybody to reappear on the windward side to roll the boat back to the other side, to actually inflate the chute with the mass.
Where in that sequence is your foredeck starting to pull down on the machine?
The moment I start, I turn the bear off, he's on. Yeah, he's on. Right, exactly.
And you,
Say, for us, the current sheet, when we're getting ready to jive, whoever's flying it lets go and I go reach it, and I am helping to fling it to get it out of all the blocks and faster up. But the current sheet, you know, but
Oh, right.
say, I'm
So-
hoping to fling it because otherwise it's too slow, someone's standing on it, someone's, you know, this or that, but it's just, it helps it, and if, sometimes with the skipper,
That's the skipper's job.
wow,
You know why? Because the
Because you're
block is-
already right there.
The block is right there. Yeah, the block is right there in my studio.
The big thing for us, the skipper's doing that, and the foredeck is pulling down on the machine.
So I do this, and then I grab the main sheet, pop it over, and then I, deal with that top back. Pop it around, fight it, and that kind of stuff. And then sometimes when it's real out here, it won't pop, and then I have a little bit of glue gun on to get it to pop in the right direction.
Don, I found a really good video of a light air jive can be
Yeah.
putting up right now.
Oh, please.
And if it'll play, and especially if you look at the way they moved the boat from side to side, they did a great job of filming the spinnaker and a really nice light air jive. So we'll play this a few times. I mean, if you look how they heal the boat through the jive,
well, I guess they didn't have to overshoot
Right.
because the person's helping pull it down, so it's filling
Yeah.
faster anyway, okay.
Okay. Let's see how they're heeling the boat to windward. They pull it through, and then everybody goes to the other side. And it's amazing how they power the spinnaker up so fast.
So that's a J7, okay? So to pull that off in a J8, you're gonna have to have some big people on board.
Well, that helps.
Hey, you got it. Larry's got it, so there's no excuse over there.
That's right, that's right.
so I got 2 questions on the job. So I've been finding that it's helpful to almost let the spinnaker begin filling before bringing the main across. Is that slow though?
Repeat that again?
I've been letting them pull this asymmetrical around and let it start to fill before I throw the main, before I bring the main over.
So, I think that's a little slow.
Is it?
But on that note, when it's blowing a dog off the chain, and you as a skipper have doubts if you're going to pull that main across through the jive, it's okay to reinflate the chute before that main gets over there. And I've done it on, besides my J80, we accidentally did it on spade foot. And it was kind of a wing-on-wing type situation. We actually were carrying through our jive, and his timing was off on the main. I just said, stop. Everybody stop. Main's on one side, spinnaker's on the other. When the spinnaker's flying, the main's too far, it's way out, it's about to jive. And I said, okay, everybody, duck. And then with both hands, I pulled that thing across. The cool part about that situation is that the chute was flying, which means the boat was going fast. So the main was easy to pull across. If you slow the boat down, let's say you're going through a jive, you slow the boat down, all of a sudden the main's hard to go across. That means you slowed the boat down, it's powered up. You want that chute to take some of the pressure off by dragging the boat faster, and then it's easy to jive. I saw a video once, it was really cool. It was like a 75-foot boat with an A-kite, and they jived that A-kite, and the chute had so much pressure that literally one guy was flipping the main over. That's how much the boat was going so fast. The main had no load on it. And so if you ever find you're in a jiving situation, and the chute's easy to jive when it's full of water, it really is. It's pretty cool. You ease it out until the clue is getting close to the forestay, and then you say now, and then you pull it, turn the chute inside out, and fly the chute. You have to try it in light air first. But once you do it, you pop it out there, the main's real far out there, the boat's trucking along, and then you just, main comes across easy.
So ideally, you're turning through the wind and bringing the main across, what, as soon as the clue clears the forestay?
Pretty much. Well, so it's really about, so it's about apparent wind and true wind, right? So you slow the boat down. Okay, this is a march thing. I love this. Okay. So this is our true wind, okay? Right? This is a bad boat. But it gives you the idea. So this is our true wind on our kite, okay? Actually, that's probably not what we want. But that's our true, this is our true wind, this is our apparent wind. So when we make our turn and slow down, we have to wait for the apparent wind to go back to true for it to get that main across. So I've seen a lot of people try to pull that main across too soon. They're still dealing with that apparent wind. So when you make your turn downhill, you're going directly dead downwind to the true. This might be an application where a spar fly might help you. You know it? Because a spar fly doesn't deal with apparent wind too much. It's pretty much true. And so if you just looked up and saw that spar fly was just getting towards the middle of the boat, that would be the time to pull it across. Because once you come out of your jibe and you're back over here, you're back on your apparent wind thing, you know it? And it's over here somewhere.
And how much do you heat it up coming out of the jibe?
It just depends on if we're maintaining our speed or you know, there's a lot of variables there. You know, you saw, so that jibe that I just did with everybody on board just scattered all over the deck, you know, we didn't head up much because, you know, it was all the parts were going right down the middle of the lake, you know it? They weren't, and so you got to stay in that pod. Where was that? You know that in my walk with the apparent wind, there are times that you jive to about 20 degrees. That's how much the wind goes forward. And the deception part, and it happens to Jays also, okay, is that you'll be sailing along and all of a sudden the wind lightens, and because you're moving forward, the chute breaks, and so you think you're getting a header, and you bear off in a little bit, and what you're really doing is sailing deeper in that hole that you just hit. Does that make sense?
Say it again.
Okay, so I'm sailing along at about 4 knots, 5 knots, okay? And when I'm in wind, and all of a sudden, the chute and everything gets light. It doesn't feel right, okay? So you have to decide, is that a lift that came through and I'm sailing too deep? Or is that a hole I'm going into? Okay, so if it's a hole and you head up, right, try to get the boat moving again, right? Question is, are you staying in that hole? Or, here's the other thing, you're sailing along, you're doing 4 knots, the pressure of the chute gets real light. Wait a minute, I need a job, because that was a ship. So you've got to figure out if it's a ship or if it's a hole. Okay, so that's part of that big yarn right there. Is you see that yarn hanging down, and you're like, that's why it's a apparent wind thing. one of the things I got trapped in that moth all the time is I'd run the wet bar, you know, do beer can races, and I'd go along, and the wind would go further and further forward, and I'd find myself up against those cliffs, and for me to jive out, I'd have to turn around and go back upwind because it was all apparent wind. And so it was actually a hole I was sailing through, and I was going faster, and it just does this and buries you in that lull. So when you jive out, you got to come way out of there to get the wind back on your nose.
Hey, John, would you run through the sequence of how you do a spinnaker set and a takedown?
Okay. I even did it with this crew. They were actually pretty decent at it. So I really like to release the tack and pole